Thank you, Scott. Good morning, and welcome to those of you here and to our worldwide online community, to Unity Spiritual Center Spokane, where we are all about our mission. Everybody, say it with me: transforming lives and inspiring people to make a difference in our world. My name is Jeff Hunter, and I will be your platform assistant this morning. If everyone could please just take a moment to make sure that your cell phone is silenced, we would really appreciate that. Thank you. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. Together with me, let's affirm: there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life living through and as each one of us. This morning, our spiritual leader, Reverend Barnard, will talk about what is a miracle. Our music today is provided by our own Scott Jameson and our special guest, Julia Croteau and Leanne Moore. Well, I will get it right eventually. Maybe at the next service I'll get it right. Now, let's please stand as Al Konigsfeld leads us in our community singing.
Make an apology this morning. As some of you know, I've been going through some medical stuff and had a post-surgical cleanup on Thursday, and somewhere in the line of fire, I managed to leave my copy of this morning's reading sitting on my piano bench, which is probably the worst place at all for it. So we will think kind thoughts about Marianne Williamson, who gave us the original one. And we will just start with a moment of prayer. God is life, and life itself is a miracle. Life is ever evolving, ever changing, and yet at the same time, always just God. And we are one with that ever-evolving, ever-changing power. That power that allows us to create a world by merely raising our vibrations and becoming who we want to be. We give such great thanks for the spirit that engulfs us, that surrounds us, within whom we have our being, that we may be part and parcel of this ever-evolving creation, that we may ourselves not just be subject to miracles, but be the cause of miracles. And we speak these words into the Spirit, knowing that they are already coming to us. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. So glad we all got together here today. So we are going to do a song called Get Together. And some of you may have heard it back in your youth. And if you did, you want to sing along, you're sure invited to. But first of all, I want to just say thank you to my friend Pamela Van Kirk. She has come to play hand drums with us today. So here we go on Get Together. Love is but a song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. No, the dove is on the wing, and you need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go, and we shall surely pass. When the one who left us here returns to us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading on the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Play it, Leanne. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you heard the song I sing, you must understand. key to love and fear in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Let's do that one more time. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. Good morning, Unity Spiritual Center Spokane. Good morning. And good morning to everyone. Where's the camera where people online are seeing us? Right, everybody turn around and wave and say, "We're glad you're here." Excellent, thank you so much. It is so wonderful. We live in a time now where we really understand that space is a field where really magical, amazing things happen, and we can now, like, not be here, but be here simultaneously. So those who aren't here with us in the room, we welcome you and give thanks for you and feel you. That's the other thing. We're now in a place where we get the power of the heart energy. So we get to open and feel you. It's so wonderful. So last month, what did we study? Love. Love. So it's kind of a natural outpouring that this month, the month of March, is the month of miracles. And so we're going to explore and we're going to dive into this thing called miracles. And many of us are really aware of what's going on outside in the world. And we are going through one of those major transitions as a culture where everything is falling apart and being made new. Whether it is a spiritual center, whether it is a banking system, a school system, everything is being looked at again because we have new technologies and we have new generations of people who've come into the planet who are more advanced in their thinking because we did the work in our thinking, right? So we've got this collision of stuff happening, and there are days and times when it can just feel icky. And we can turn on the news, and I had a writing partner down in Arizona who wrote for the news, and she used to say to me all the time, "Bonnie, the reason you see these horrible things are because they're rare. News is about, we're showing you what is unique in our culture. We're showing you what's rare." And I said, yes, but when we take in a regular diet of that stuff, we start thinking that's the way our world is, and it's not. So this is what we're going to do this month, is we are going to explore, play in, experience, expand the field of miracles right here in the sanctuary, so that we can experience and have the ongoing conversation about how miraculous it is to be alive right here, right now on this planet, and to start to see those miracles so that we can be a space, a field that makes it easier for people to access their miracles. Are you in? Yes. Okay. So this is the way I envision it. I envision that the sanctuary becomes a miracle mosh pit. A miracle mosh pit. And so I invite you to join me this month when I pray. I always pray that whoever walks through this door to be in our presence is made better for walking in our door. So let's pray that they have the
privilege and the opportunity to be able to just step right into that field of miracle. It's kind of like our secret, what we're doing. We're creating this field together, and we actually don't create anything, as we know, but we use our intention as a form of setting and directing energy, and therefore creation happens. So let's look at miracles. According to, I love to click these and not have anything show up. According to the Catholic Church, because when we're starting in real kind of spiritual lineage, the great mystics, in my opinion, have come from every religion, but the mystics that we study, like John of the Cross, Teresa of Avila, the mystics mostly come from the Catholic lineage. And the Catholic Church has changed a lot in my lifetime. And they are now meditating and doing a thing called centering prayer that is so incredibly beautiful. It's the Christian version of doing Buddhist or Hindu meditation. And so they're focusing on Christ. So they have a beautiful energy that I like to honor and look at. So according to the Catholic Church, in order to become a saint, you must perform a certain number of miracles. And for them, a miracle is a physical healing. So it goes to a miracle of the body temple. So here's a quote from Catholic the website. According to Francis's reforms, it is an order for canonization to go forward. 2/3 of the medical board are now required to affirm that the miraculous event cannot be explained by natural causes. So it used to be that the medical board would review a miracle, which would be a healing, and half had to agree, oh yeah, this is outside of the realm of natural causes. Now the Catholic Church upped it to 2/3. But what this says to me is that a miracle takes place outside the realm of what is considered possible. So the Oxford Dictionary definition of a miracle: a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of divine agency. Don't you like that? The work of divine agency. So this is what I say all the time. If you hang around me, you'll hear me say it a lot. I go, oh, that's a God thing. So what is a miracle? It's a God thing. So then Charles Fillmore, one of the two founders of Unity, says that there are no miracles. But he's really saying there are no miracles because everything's a miracle, right? So this is one of those spiritually mature paradoxes that we get into. Like when the Buddhists say that when you're connected, you're totally empty and completely full simultaneously. This is like that, right? So we're seeing that a miracle is beyond the natural law, and Charles Fillmore says there are no miracles in science. Jesus did not do miracles. Under his marvelous work were done under laws that we can learn and we can do just as Jesus did. As the body is moved by mind, so the mind is moved by ideas, and right here in the mind we find the secret of the universe. So this quote probably came from the mid to late 20s, and since then we have changed or evolved as a culture to realize how important the mind is, but equally so how important our energetics are. So I like to always combine those two. So what the Bible tells us is that it is done unto us as we believe, and that everything is possible to those who believe. So Fillmore is saying, therefore, there's no miracles, because if you believe it and it manifests, then it's normal, right? Or that miracles are so ordinary that they don't exist. Or everything is a miracle when we wake up to seeing it. So this is what Einstein told us, and I'm paraphrasing him, so it's going to come out wrong, but you guys have all heard it, so you're going to hear it the right way. And that is, he says, at some point in our journey, we have to decide if the universe is friendly. That's the biggest overarching decision we have to make in our lifetime, is to make the decision, do we live in a friendly universe? And if our answer to that is yes, then the experience becomes, oh, everything is miraculous, or here is yet another miracle. So what I love is that as I read further on Charles Fillmore's sermons, many of his sermons are online, by the way, which are very interesting. And so in that same talk he gave about having no miracles or not having miracles, he talked about being in the flow. And he used the word, the Christ current, as the flow. And I'm always looking for more ways to be able to say, be in the flow. And I love the word Christ current. Like, we are in the current of Christ consciousness. We are in the current of Christ. Current because we are energetic beings, we are electromagnetic beings, and electromagnetism runs in currents. So when we are in the united consciousness of Christ, we are in the flow, but we can say we're in Christ's current. And he says in his sermon, which was given February 26, 1928, he says, what is the Christ current? Jesus Christ raised his consciousness until he made the union or contacted with universal life, that life in which there are no breaks. And our metaphysicians are striving to get deeper and deeper into this life consciousness. And interesting side note, Eckhart Tolle says, life and death are not opposites, birth and death are opposites, life has no opposite. So as metaphysicians, we're striving to get deeper and deeper into life consciousness, the consciousness without opposites. And when you strike that, everything falls in line with health, harmony, and uplift. You will find that you have within you a life flow, a life energy, a power that will overcome all inertia. But it is only in either great crises that you do this or under a steady flow of right thought. So those of us here in the room, those of us online, are going for the steady flow of right thought, not for crises. Now, Jesus could handle this situation every time. And our modern metaphysicians are getting closer and closer to being able to work the law this way. And they do it through unifying their mind with the only thing that is. You see examples of this frequently, and I say sporadic expression of it. So in a moment, I'm going to share with you a sporadic expression that I had, also known as a miracle of the unified mind consciousness and its outpouring. But first, I want to share with you a conversation I had with my girlfriend in Arizona. And she watches us, so hi, Heather. Everyone's saying hi. So I called her up, and I called her because she's always lucky. You know those people in our life who just are lucky? So I called her up and I said, talk to me about miracles. And she's like, oh, Bonnie, everything's a miracle. That's right. And oh, Bonnie, nothing's a miracle. That's right. Right? So she says, I like the word synchronicity. And it has to do when you're in alignment. Same thing, I have to do when you're in alignment. And she goes, so I prefer the word synchronicity over miracle. So this is the definition. It was coined by Carl Jung, who we all love. And what a synchronistic moment is a meaningful coincidence which mysteriously occurs in your life, far too significant to be a mere day-to-day serendipitous encounter. So again, very much like the definition of a miracle where I say it's a God thing. So she shared with me this miracle of hers. So this is a picture of a frame that she had in her house, and it says in the middle of the frame, I love my dog. And she was cleaning out her house and getting ready to put things in a box to go to Goodwill. So she had this big box next to the side of her door filled with all kinds of stuff. And in that box was this frame that is a magnet. And so she goes to bring the box to Goodwill and sees that the frame is missing. And where would it be found? In the dog kennel. So did her dog know how to read I love my dog on that frame? Out of everything in her entire home, why would it go to the Goodwill box, pick out a dog frame, go and put it in his kennel so that his owner sees it? Is it a miracle? Maybe. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's synchronicity. I don't know. But she did tell me about another time that she would coin a miracle, and that is that this was back pre-Ancestry.com days, back when people who were doing their lineage work, ancestral lineage work, had to be like a gumshoe detective, and they had to wear out their leather. So her and her mom 25 years ago flew to Ireland in order to see if they could find out where their relatives had lived, and their last known relative to them had moved out of the area 135 years prior. So they go and they book themselves in an Airbnb, or not an Airbnb, it was a bed and breakfast back then, a B&B, and they come down for breakfast and they're talking about their family tree. And the hostess here's what they're saying, here's the name of their ancestors, leaves the room, comes back in with a telephone, hands it to them and says, here's one of your relatives. And within 10 minutes, they are reunited with a double cousin on her great-grandmother's side. And those things happen to all of us often. And it's really curious to think, how does all of that fall into place? Well, I'm going to share with you one of my really, really hard to believe miracles, but I swear it's true. I swear it's true, I really do. So my miracle takes place in a Walmart. There I am in all my glory. And what happens is I had just moved down to Scottsdale, Arizona, and I didn't yet have anywhere to live, and I was house sitting for a family. So nobody knew where I was except me, which the more you get to know me, I love that. Okay? So I'm hidden in a house in Scottsdale, and my colleague is a minister, and she and her family went on vacation while I house sat. It was a win-win for everybody. And I'm down there and I'm meditating for several hours like I do most days, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. And I'm in meditation and I realize I am in the unified field. And it's really hard to explain the feeling. Many of you have been there, but I'm going to try. It is an awareness that is so keen of both what's happening internally and what's happening externally, and the two are one. So there is no division with what's happening out here and what's happening in here. And there's no understanding of time. And time does not exist in this realm of this one unified space. And distance is really hard to figure out because it's also a form of measurement, and you're not really measuring in this space. And everything is good. In this space, you don't need anything. There's no neediness. In this space of consciousness, you have everything you need. And I think this is the space that a lot of those monks live in, where they don't eat food. You know, their body doesn't need it because they're in an altered space. At least that's my supposition. So I'm in this altered space and I hear this internal voice that suggests I go to Walmart. Because when God has a minute to talk to me, it says, go to Walmart, Bonnie. I told you it's so not believable, but it's true. So I walk in the doors at Walmart, totally unified with everyone and everything. And I'm walking down the aisles and I hear the inner voice say, Bonnie, ask and it shall be given. And I'm like, what? So I look around Walmart and I'm saying, what do I want? But in this state, you don't want anything. So I'm like looking around, going up and down the aisles, and I'm going, okay, I'll have a digital camera. And then I turn around, I walk out the door, I drive back home to my friend's place where I'm house sitting, and nobody knows that I'm there. And I go to her mailbox to bring in the mail, and there is a box addressed to me. No lie. Nobody knows I'm there. I get a box in her mailbox that's addressed to me. And I go, well, that's interesting. The return address is Virginia Slim Cigarettes, and I don't smoke. So I'm like, do, do, do. So I open the box, and lo and behold, there's a camera, a Virginia Slims camera. And I'm telling Gay and Dave the story, and they're looking at me like, really? Virginia Slims had a camera, Bonnie? And so I went online and found a photo of it. So it did exist, but here's this camera, and I thought, this is so weird, because it literally was in the mailbox maybe 20 minutes later, and I didn't smoke, and when I read the fine print on this, it said you needed to smoke 1,000 packs of cigarettes and mail it into Virginia Slims in order for them to send it to you. But even I didn't know I was house sitting, so I couldn't have done it. I mean, like, the whole thing was strange and really fun. And so this is what I learned from that. I learned that I don't handle the mechanics of a miracle. Okay, so for those of us in the group here who like to control, you might want to just play with not controlling this month so that you can see what happens, because you can't make a miracle happen. Like, I could not fly back to Virginia Slims, grab one of their cameras, box it up, send it to an address. You know, we don't handle the miracles, God does. And my part of that miracle was meditation. And I know we're a spiritual center, so I trust that all of us meditate every day. If we don't, I invite you to meditate. Start with 20 minutes in the morning, then go 20 in the morning and the evening. When I went through ministerial school, I was told that I had to do 3 hours of spiritual practice every single day, so that when somebody in a congregation comes up to talk to me, my stuff isn't in the way. So depending upon where you are in the journey and how you are guided, please meditate. It makes all the difference. And then I listened to a podcast on my walk this morning, and it was the Martha Beck podcast called the Gathering podcast. And in it, she was sharing some new research from Princeton University. And they said that when you are in a troubled or divided state in your consciousness, the best way to return to it is through equanimity. And that is, of course, the returning to oneness, going to the place of consciousness and oneness. This is what their report said that just thrilled me to all pieces. Each one of us here are made up of 99.99999999999, 13 nines, 99.139% space. We are all made mostly of space, and yet our attention goes on to mass and form. So when we meditate, we're entering into spaciousness, which is the presence of God, which is the field. All of this stuff, I'm sure, is related quantumly, but I haven't found the way to say it to you in quantum language, but I'm sure that's there. So we are mostly space, and how we get back to oneness is that the quickest way that these researchers discovered was that we close our eyes, and we're going to do this when we meditate together today, but we'll close our eyes and we will envision our third eye, and that's about like right here. And the reason that Princeton University discovered that meditating on the third eye brought oneness together is that that's where our ocular muscles on both sides come together as one. So we literally in our body have one sight there. This is where we see from one. It is a literal behind the scenes deal going on. So we close our eyes, we unify our vision by going to the unified space and consciousness, and then we ask the question, can I imagine this empty space between my eyes? And any of you who've studied with Joe Dispenza, which I have, most of his meditations have you ask to focus on the space between me and you, the space between our ears, the space between, because space is where the presence of God, that's its Play-Doh, that's its, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the ingredients. The ingredients come out of the space. So what I learned was I don't handle the mechanics. My part is meditation. We'll do that fun meditation that I learned this morning. That what I did is I followed the guidance that I was given. I asked and it was given, and that there's far more that I don't understand than I do. And so that's that great mystery. Now, there's 36 days until Easter, which is the big miracle, because that's where we learn that life is eternal. So Easter, big miracle. And so what I'm going to ask is that as we create this miracle mosh pit between us, that one of the ways that we're going to do this is we're going to set the intention that it is so, and we'll do that in our meditation today. Now, the second thing is I would like you to buddy up with someone either here at the center, or it could be a friend or a sibling or someone somewhere. But for the 36 days, I would like you to buddy up with someone. And then I'm going to ask you to do this following spiritual practices that comes out of Melody Beatty's work, Make Miracles in 40 Days. But since there is no time and space in God, we're doing it in 36, okay? So you're going to partner with somebody and you're going to email them at the end of your day so it doesn't bother anyone, it doesn't wake them up, but you're going to email them 10 daily gratitudes and 10 daily desires or wants. And in the metaphysical community, there is some weird stuff around wanting, and I could have used the word desire, which is probably a better aligned word. But Catherine Ponder, the great metaphysician, says that desire means of the Father, D and sire, of the Father. So when we have a want or desire and it comes from the Father, it gets fulfilled. So we're not looking at manifesting, we're looking at simply making a rich field for miracles. So if something manifests, yippee, but what we're doing is we're putting our attention on the field of the miracle. So I had a new insight from Melody Beatty's work around gratitudes that I want to share with you, and I'm almost done, I promise. And that is that what I figured out was that we don't have to be grateful for something that happens that we disagree with. Okay, so it snows out. I'm not grateful it's snowing. Okay, I disagree with it. So I don't have to like that it's snowing, but I sit with something in that whole story that rises within me that is potent, that I can get behind. So what I honor, what I'm grateful for, is that I know I don't like snow. Or I like it, but I don't like it 30 times in one season. So I know I have more information about me. So what am I grateful for? I have more information about me. And why am I grateful for that? Because I can decide next year I'm going to travel in February. Or, like it gives me information about who I am and how I show up. So we try often to make the external okay. And your invitation in writing your gratitudes is not about changing the external. It's about looking inside of you and saying, this is what I'm grateful for in this situation, okay? Several weeks ago, I stepped in a pothole and I sprained my left arm. And after I did that, I was not happy that I stepped in a pothole, and I was not happy that I sprained my arm. I was not happy about our healthcare system. Like, I had to go through a list. This didn't make me happy. This didn't make me happy. And then I finally went, oh my gosh, what happened when I hurt myself is the whole community stepped forward and supported me. I had someone doing Reiki on me, and I had someone massaging me, and I had people picking up my groceries, and I had a neighbor who would come over and help me get dressed, and everything I needed was provided. So what was I grateful for? Not hurting myself. I was grateful for the support that I witnessed. So what you're going to do at the end of every day is come up with 10 things that you're authentically grateful for, and when there are things you don't like, dig in them to find what you're grateful for, because it will change your life. That's powerful. So do 10 gratitudes and then do 10 desires or wants. And so here's just a sample from me. 10 gratitudes. The sun shone on my face today. This was yesterday. Unexpected money I received. Grandkids telling me that they love me. The ability to pray for my enemies. Again, my perception, someone was really mean to me. But when I dug into that, it was not about them. It was about, oh, now I get to pray for this thing that I'm perceiving as an enemy. Staying present when it's hard. Grateful for overeating, because then I get to feel what's going on in my body. So wants, clean house, fireplace fixed. You know, I just make my list. I want to travel. I want to learn new things. So there's my want list. And then this is what we're going to be doing this month. Thanks to Gay, who did this beautiful artwork behind me. And made these beautiful feathers right here. And I'll tell you my feather miracle story next week because I have to save something. Okay, so this is what's going to happen is we're going to start tracking our miracles, and we're going to write them on the back of the feathers and then put them in a basket that's right outside the doorway. And then Gay and Julie will come and artistically put them behind me on this screen. And so we can watch, we have a visual over the month of all of the miracles that are taking place here in the sanctuary. Now, for those of you online, you are not excluded. You can contact Deanna on her email, which is ddoyle@unityspokane.org with your miracle. Do not send any if you're not willing to have them shared, because I'm going to be speaking this month and Jeff Tawney's going to be speaking this month, and we're going to be reading some miracles. So you can share a miracle with Deanne by emailing her, and that means you, Sherry Barnard. And that means you, Heather, and who do you guys know who's online right now? Jan. The Sledges, okay? All of you guys, okay? Email. And then you can also use this code that's behind me and take your phone and QR code and like do your thing. And then there will be a link that will take you to our website and make that possible. All right, do we know our assignment? Yes. Okay. So after service, you may ask someone to be your buddy. You can have more than one because you're sending your email to someone, but they don't have to respond and say anything to you back. Got it? So you send an email to somebody and they don't have to say, ooh, I like your number 3 want. You know, it's none of that. It's just, you can't say I received it or thank you, but it really is an accountability system. So after service, you can ask people for their email, you could send it back and forth, or you can do this with someone in your family, you could do this with a friend, a colleague, etc., because we are going to amplify this space in here and amplify this field so that miracles become our norm. Let's meditate. All right, and stamp our feet on the ground and feel the energy coming up through our feet. And let's place our focus on our breath and feel it breathing in our body temples. Oh, I just love being inside of my body. Just bring your attention all throughout that beautiful body that you wear. And now bring your attention up to your third eye. And we ask the question, can I imagine the empty space between my eyes? Can I imagine that empty space between my eyes? And when you meditate, make sure you breathe. let's take our attention from between our eyes and bring it into our heart. And let's bring our attention down to our belly. And back to our feet. And let's stomp again. And so I just give thanks that each one of us is indeed space itself, that the final frontier of space could be ourselves, that we are the space that we look for. The presence of God as the spaciousness of life herself. So I just give thanks that each one of us is here today in order to play in this field of the miracle. I claim in advance that each and every one of us not only experiences multiple miracles, but that we're awake enough to recognize them. So I give thanks that God, the good, has brought us here together to remind us who we are and what we are, and to remind us that this universe is indeed a space and a place where miracles happen. And what a wonderful benefit that we have for being spiritually awake, that we get to know the miracles that are in our lives. And so how great that in the middle of everything going on in Spokane and the United States and the globe and the cosmos, that we are grounded in here and now and playing in the field of miracles. And for this Holy Spirit, for this presence of God, for this, the divine good, I give thanks. And so it is. Amen.
So grateful to be here today with you all, just living in gratitude. Let there be praise, let there be joy in our hearts. Sing to God, give God the glory. Let there be praise, let there be joy in our hearts. Forevermore, letting love fill the air, and let there be praise. God inspires the joy in the people and dwells deep within. The peace that he gives none can equal, and loving knows no end. So lift your voice and sing joyfully. Proclaim with all your heart, Christ is born in me. Let there be praise, let there be joy in our hearts. Sing to God, give God the glory. Let there be praise, let there be joy in our hearts. Forevermore, letting love fill the air, and let there be praise. When the Spirit of God is within us, we will overcome. In darkness the light will uplift us, and we'll know that we are one. So lift your voice and sing joyfully. Proclaim with all your heart, Christ is born in me. Let there be praise, let there be joy in our hearts. Sing to God, give God there be joy in our hearts forevermore, letting love fill the air, and let there be praise, and let there be praise. Let there be singing, let there be music, let there be honor, let there be glory, majesty, triumph, and praise. Let there be praise.
I love it here, just saying. Just saying. And what a great diversity of music today. The community song, and then I just felt like if I were in my teens and my 60s, which I wasn't, I'm a little younger than that, but I just felt like I was in a sit-in. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, that was so good. And Scott, the guitar, oh my goodness. Whew, it was so good. Yay, Scott. Yay, everybody. That was fantastic. Love it. Love it. All right. So now it's the time that we get to give, and we get to remember that we are the Christ current. And money is currency. That was good, wasn't it? And so as we activate the flow in so many different ways. We do it by giving of our time, talent, and treasures. And we do it of giving forth the truth, capital T truth. And we just do it from a place where we're so used to giving that, as Reverend Michael Beckwith says, we start giving from the overflow, not from the principle. We have so much that we give from the overflow. So let's go ahead and take our gift, and those of you online can participate with us. You can mail in a check, you can text, you can go online and make a donation, a tithe, and we appreciate every single entire penny that comes into the center, for it is used to take care of this lovely building, the amazing staff, and it goes towards everything that we do with spiritual education. So please, thank you in advance for your giving. So let's take our gift and let's do our prayer together. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. I would like to invite you to participate in the spiritual act of giving. I invite you to go within to your abundant self and ask, what is yours to give today? And once you know and have clarity, there are 3 different ways that you can give. One is old school. Send a check to Unity Spiritual Center, Spokane, 2900 South Barnard Street, Spokane, Washington, 99203. The other is more contemporary. It's text to donate, 509-215-2552. That's 509-215-2552. And the third way is to go to our website, unityspokane.org, and in the upper right corner, there is a button that says donate. Click on that and follow it through. Whatever you give today, we are grateful and we thank you. And let's just give thanks that we're awake to knowing the allness and the everyness of God. That right where we are, God is, and it is good. And so I bless this money knowing that it is used for right purpose. And I give thanks that the presence of God is the energy which made the money, gave forth the money, and recirculates and circulates this divine currency of Christ consciousness. And so I give thanks that this good is ever expanding, this good is God, and this good is love. And I call our giving good. And so it is. Say with me, amen. Amen. Happy birthday.
Bonnie, we are so grateful for you and that message today, and grateful for Scott and our musicians. It was a wonderful service. I always get a little verklempt somewhere along the line, and this is my verklempt moment. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, and one life. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey of transformation, you are always welcome here. If there's anyone here for the first time and you feel comfortable raising your hand, we'd love to say hello and offer you a drink from our barista stand, a free drink from our barista stand. The optimal word is free. So is there anyone here for the first time? Oh, welcome. Welcome. We're very glad you're here. I hope you enjoyed the service, and please come back again next week. All right, excuse me, here we go. Welcome. For those of you who are here, as well as those joining us online who are new to our ministry, we encourage you to sign up for our e-news to learn about our upcoming workshops and events. You can sign up for our e-newsletter by scanning the QR code you see on the screen and around the center, or on our website at unityspokane.org. We would also like to connect with you on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us. And thank you for joining us today. Our chaplains today are Theodora and Diane, who have been holding the service in prayer for us today. Theodora and Diane, will you please stand? Thank you. They will be available to pray with you immediately following the service. So if you have something that is heavy on your heart or that you would like to celebrate, please come see Theodora, who will be here at the front of the sanctuary following the peace song. Thank you for your service today, both of you. We would like to encourage anyone who is in need of prayer support to please fill out a prayer request form found in the seat pocket in front of you. And you can put them in one of our prayer boxes. You can also submit your request online. Names are added to our prayer list and prayed over for 30 days, and by both our prayer ministry as well as Silent Unity. And now, news you can use from Amber McKenzie.
Thank you, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, so two things before I get to the news you can use. Just with the miracles, we do have a form online that we would love for you to fill out, and there is a QR code. I think we're going to print those, and we'll have them, I don't know, somewhere. Look for it. And you can scan that, and then you can write in your prayer request. If Deanna gets too many emails, they might get lost. So we'd love for you to fill out the form. It will also be an e-news, so you can fill out the miracles form there as well. And then also we have free Lent booklets still available. So please pick one of those up. I think Deanna said that she'll have a basket full of those. So if you want your Lent booklet, please take one of those today. Okay, now let's get to it. First up, just a reminder, we do have pre-service meditation, but now it's not in here. It's in the chapel. So that starts at 9:30 on Sundays. So if you're interested in doing that pre-service meditation, you can go directly to the chapel when you come in on Sundays, and that is where it will be held. Okay, and then next we have a volunteer event coming up. Woohoo! So it is the Landscape Cleanup Annual Cleanup. And it will be on Saturday, April 1st from 8:30 to 12:30. You can come anytime in that time frame. And lunch will be included. And this is weather permitting, so if it's snowing that morning, don't come. Let's just put it that way. But let's hope that it is a nice, beautiful spring morning. So if you are interested, you don't have to sign up. You just come. Okay, so just come here on Saturday, April 1st between 8:30 and 12:30, and we will have lots for you to do. Okay. Today is Board Listener Sunday. So after services today, there will be a board member in the library who will be there and welcoming anyone who's interested in sharing feedback. If you have ideas, etc., feel free to go to the library and talk to that board member. And they will not be bored. Promise. I know, that joke will never get old. Even though I keep telling it, it's still funny to me. Okay, and then we have two spiritual education classes coming up, one with me, Amber McKenzie, and that is Unlearning Death. And so that will be starting this Wednesday, March 8th, and that'll be every Wednesday for 4 Wednesdays, from 5:15, so in the evening, to 7:45 right here in the chapel. If you are interested, please sign up through eNews or come see me and I can help you sign up for that. There are scholarships available as well. So please let me know if you're interested in that class. I can also tell you a little bit more about it if you're interested in talking to me after services. And then we have the Heal Your Life workshop with Catherine Dietz. That one will begin on Tuesday evenings, starting March 14th, and this is a 6-week series. Really powerful content, so if you're interested in that, there's a lot more information in eNews, or you can always email Catherine, and she will give you more information about that class as well. Just see me or Deanna if you have questions or you want to sign up. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Okay, Jeff, you're on.
Our kids have arrived, so let's welcome them in by singing Walking in the Light. Whoa, we have a whole combo today.
Here we go. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Wow. What a groove. Look at this. Good. All right, we have an announcement.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danica. I'm one of the sponsors here for our YOU. And we just wanted to let you know that we fundraised last week at our soup luncheon and raised up, numbers are hard for me. We raised $616. Thank you for everybody who participated, who brought soup, who brought vibes. It was lovely. Thank you so much.
All right, this is the first Sunday in March, and so it's Birthday Sunday. So everybody that has a birthday in March, stand if you're able, or raise your hand. And Maestro, here we go. Happy birthday, happy birthday, dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. That's the love light in your eyes, wherever birthday. Boy, I am grateful for all of this. This is amazing. I feel surrounded by love. I really do. We are so blessed to have such an amazing youth ministry here at Unity Spiritual Center. Thank you, Jackie, and everyone who does this for years and years and years. It's just, I always say this is the foundation of our center. Let's take a moment now to bless all of our young people and those, especially those in service to our youth ministry, with a children's blessing. Together, be the love you are, sing the song you hear, share your joy of life with people far and near. And also for ourselves, be the love we are, sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. All right, now find the flock you came with. Wow, it's amazing. All right. And now please stand if you are able and to join together for our closing prayer for protection, followed by the peace sign. It's off. Peace sign? Gone a month and I can't talk. All right. Together, let's affirm. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And we are. Oh. God is. That's the truth. Not really